I met a Gypsy.
So to talk about flow state, like what's your take on that as a concept in as a whole, like scientifically, holistically?
It's something that, you talk about goals, like you get in the zone and there's some days where you're just on, and that's what everyone strives for. And one rider was like, oh, they got third, they podium, and they're like, oh, only podium. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, your bad day got you on the podium. Let's reframe that and look at that. And they're like, oh, okay. But the flow state, the zone, it's a real thing. And how you train and prepare helps set you up for success and the probability of getting there. There's the physical components, but what you said in the beginning of the conversation is like, how mental is it? It's so mental. I mean, you had Tomac on here and he's like, oh yeah, it's like, it's all mental. Like you have to think that you're the man. And I was watching it, I was going, yeah, that's true. But like, there's so many more things. And the thing that I do with athletes is like, do things with intention. Like learn how to train and train hard and flip that switch on to be able to get in the activation phase and get yourself primed and get yourself ready. Because nothing's going to mimic completely like a race.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to train even harder to be able to make the races almost easier.
Yeah.
And I heard Jet say something like, because he's just been, let's be honest, he's just been crushing it.
Ridiculous.
Like bonkers. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't even really trying. And that's kind of the flow state. And the other aspect is every rider that gets out in front, they always say it's easier because they got clear track. I mean, obviously you got lappers and stuff like that, but if you get a bad start and you're just getting plastered, that's no fun.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get in a flow state when you're just getting blasted like by shotgun rocks,
Right. And then if you have a bad start, like what's going on between your ears?
Yeah, it just triggers the thoughts and
it just like the adrenaline, and it's like you get out of your plan. And so part of like performance psychology is it's stress inoculation. And it's like, all right, that happened. Don't react. Stick to the game plan. So you start worrying about who cut you off, or you're in back of the pack. You're worrying about result, and you're thinking,
yeah, what did I get in first moto? What's this going to do for my overall?
Totally.
Yeah.
And those I've had those conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, knock it off. It's easier said than done. But, when it comes to performance and transparency, it's like, did you do everything that you could to prep yourself for the race? Yeah, those boxes are checked. Did you go out and perform and give your best effort? Absolutely. Job done. I'm more impressed by effort than I am about results.
Yeah.
And I'll give you like, the battle of the 450s and super between like Webb and Chase. And it's like Chase got second and was like, oh, he didn't win. Dude, he was off the charts great. And Utah, when he smoked everyone, like that's performance.
Yeah.
And you talk about flow state, like, before, it's like Malcolm Stewart in Daytona, was it Daytona? Tampa. It's like, that was such a feel-good story.
Yeah.
And do you think he's trying to get after that and get there again?
Yeah.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
Because once you get a taste that, it's like, winning is hard in any professional sport. I don't care what it is. But once you get a taste of it and you've got kind of a blueprint, like then that alpha comes out and that's what you're chasing.
So what do you think, or have you spent much time thinking about what's happening at the level of the brain when it comes to being in that flow state?
Yeah, I mean, I think about it constantly, and everyone's different. Everyone's different, but there's a lot of similarities, and the constant thing is like, I'm just there, I'm present, and I'm focused. And it's like you're hitting your marks, you don't care who's around you because you're in that space. And if you like, my big thing is mind relaxed, body activated. Like, let your body do the work. Don't be emotional out there.
Yeah.
That's what I try and really stress on athletes I work with, and just everyday folks as well. It's like, hey, if you can train your body to do this, do you have the ability to train your mind to do the same? And the answer is yes. It can definitely happen, but there's a multiple of factors, and the number one is emotional reactivity.
So do you think that from a biological and like neurological level, do you think that peak performance is tied to flow state because you don't have a certain layer of like cognitive interpretation happening? And so as a result, like you would have a finite amount of brain processing power, right?
Yeah.
So if you have 0% to internal monologue, dialogue, then you're giving more resources to the actual like physical functioning of your brain. Like, is that like an oversimplified way of saying like why people perform better in that flow state?
Well, it's, every athlete has that day. And I don't think it's an oversimplification. I think it's just a reasonable way. It's like, you don't have to think. Your arm can control the ball. Like, you look at Jet and Hayden in particular this year in the 450 and 250, it's like their bike looks like an extension of their body. They're not fighting it. They're flowing with it. And like, they're not thinking. They're just doing. And I know it's like, it may sound a little too obvious, but when you break it down and simplify it, it's like, keep it simple. I mean, are you hitting your marks? Are you hitting the right pitch? Are you staying off the clutch and all these things? It's like, in terms of like flow, that just comes easy. And like, when you tap into that zone, is there any better feeling?
Mm-mm.
And we're seeing it like, and we're seeing it, people see it with Jet and people see it with Hayden, but I'm also seeing it with people in the back that are making moves that don't get talked about. And to me, like, I look for that stuff and it's like, well, I didn't win. Okay, well, how did you perform?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I was just flowing. It's like, yeah, because you weren't thinking.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.